You know, when it comes to manufactured homes, everybody seems to have their own opinions, and you know, there's nothing wrong with that. However, many opinions seem to be, well, rather questionable. And today we're going to be looking at a certain video that was on YouTube. It's a video that's going to come with a rather hypocritical ending, so stay tuned. Hi there, everybody. It's Roy and Lily again from 4-Star Homes. Hope everybody's having a really nice summer so far. You know, I'll tell you, the nice thing about YouTube is you can go on YouTube and find out just about any information you want on just about anything. And one of the nice things is you can go on there and search for manufactured homes in Florida and come up with all kinds of different videos. And you're going to get like 5 reasons why you should buy, 5 reasons why you shouldn't buy. I actually probably watched almost every video that's up there, and I did find one, and it was called 10 Reasons Why You Should Not Buy a Manufactured Home. Now, obviously, because of copyright laws, I can't show clips from that particular video. I'm not even going to identify the individual to put the video up, but what I was able to do was just take audio clips off of that video, and we're going to listen to those clips and then kind of discuss the pros and cons of what this individual is trying to say. Okay, so let's get on with our first clip.
I just saw a video from a local realtor trying to sell people on how good and affordable mobile homes are.
Yeah, that's probably Lily and me.
And the most obvious reason why mobile homes are horrible investments is the fact that you have to pay lot rent. A lot of people from up north are not familiar with these lot rents because everybody's familiar with the concept that if you buy a house, you own the land it's on. So a lot of people from up north are looking at mobile homes on the internet and they think, oh, you can buy this mobile home for $80,000, but then they're not aware that they have to pay up to $900 or $1,200 a month to rent that piece of land. It's an absolutely horrible investment.
Chin chin. All right, let's go ahead and address that. You know, part of it is right, but I think most of it is wrong. For one thing, I don't think people up north are so naive, okay, that they would think they'd come down here and buy a house and not have other expenses involved. You can't come down to Florida and live for free. It's as simple as that. However, Lily was married to me for 2.5 years before she realized that the $743 a month lot rent that I pay isn't a one-time annual expense.
Sorry, it was bad news for me. I'm still flying.
All right, so I did, you know, through the power of 4-Star Homes, because they just keep incredible statistics. Okay, we do all business through Central Florida, the Treasure Coast. I mean, we work with up to 200 different parks. I was able to go through and find out the 2 most expensive parks, okay, that we work with. The first is the Falls at Ormond in Ormond Beach, $1,100 a month in rent, and the second is the Hamptons, appropriately named, $1,058 a month, and that's located in Auburndale, Florida. So there are parks like that. Obviously, they must be first-class parks, you know, and if you have the extra money and you want to hobnob and rub elbows with people of your caliber, by all means, there are places for you. But what our guy in the video failed to mention, the average lot rent, okay, for this area of Florida. Again, I'm talking about 200, up to 200 different parks, all down the coast, Central Florida, okay? And just to keep it accurate, I only took the sales for the past 30 days. So in the past 30 days, the average lot rent of all the homes that were sold comes out to $587, which is a far throw from the $1,100 and $1,200 that our friend on the video was mentioning.
Many times they'll start to jack up the prices on you at about intervals of $50 a year. So if you've been there for a while, you can end up paying up to $1,200 a month. Yes, I know people paying $1,200 a month because progressively they jack up the price on you. They start you low and they keep jacking it up and jacking it up, and next thing you know, you're paying $1,200 a month for the land. You don't own the land, you're just paying to park it there.
All right, so before I get into more detail on that, I just want to mention, like, when you buy into a park like Country Club Village, this is completely different than buying a house on property, because when you do that, you're actually indebted to the county as far as property taxes, school taxes, okay, all of this stuff that's required. So when you move into a park like this, you don't have any of those responsibilities. So who does the responsibility fall on? Well, obviously it falls on the park owners. Okay, so just like a county, okay, this particular park has management, it's got a team of people, it's got all kinds of, a small army of workers who maintain the property, and I've spoken to quite a few of them, and none of them have told me that they actually work for free. So somebody has to pay these people, and that's part of what your lot rent is. Another nice thing too, just to give you an example, like if you owned a house outside the park, and let's say that your sewer lines or water lines in your front yard failed, you're responsible for paying for that. Where here, you're not responsible for it. And the only reason I'm bringing it up is because the park is responsible for maintaining all of that stuff because they actually own the land. And for the past couple of weeks, I've seen them putting in new water lines or some sort of sewer lines or something like that throughout the park. So they're responsible for the electric in the park. They're responsible for the roads in the park. None of the taxpayers' dollars come in here to subsidize any of that. Not to mention the fact we got a large clubhouse, we got 2 swimming pools. As a matter of fact, you swim a lot in the pools, right? Okay, not once, okay, have they asked Lily to go clean the pools, am I right? Okay, so you don't have to clean the pools, you don't have to cut the grass, they maintain everything, and again, all of that comes at a cost, and that's part of what your lot rent goes to pay for. Not to mention, and not all parks have it, but we have our own private golf course here, and obviously that does need some special attention too. Okay, so before I get into more detail about that, I'm going to turn it over to my economy specialist here, Lily. She's got a report for you. What's your report?
I have something.
Okay, go ahead.
It's easy. 1 dozen.
1 dozen eggs.
Yes. 1 year ago, 86 cents. Today, 2.29. Gallon of milk 1 year ago, 3.59. Today, $5 and up.
Yeah, I paid $5.04
yeah.
yesterday, I think, for a gallon
Loaf
of milk.
of bread 1 year ago, 1.53. Today, 2.50.
Right, and the reason,
middle price.
right, and we're not even going to talk about gasoline because you all know where that's going. The reason why I'm bringing this up is because every year everything seems to go up, and to think that lot rents won't do the same is really a total fallacy. But it's not as bad as our guy on the video made it. What I did, again, using the power of the 4-star statistics, I was able to go all the way back to 2011 forward, and we're going to go ahead and take a look at how much lot rents have gone up over the past 11 years. So in 2011, the average lot rent was $390. Okay, now the average lot rent for this year, the first 6 months of this year, 2022, okay, is $577. So that's a difference of $187 a year or $17 per month per year. And pretty much that's about what my lot rent has gone up since I moved here over 8 years ago. The Wind Building Corporation actually sent us this notice about lot rents, and they actually showed what our average increases were since 2012 to 2020. And the lot rents in this park have actually gone up 2.46%, okay, over the course of those years. And actually, this particular park and a lot of parks, they actually follow the consumer price index when it comes to deciding on how to raise a lot rent. So yes, lot rents do go up every year, but it's no $50 a month or $100 a month or all those other scary numbers that a lot of people tell you.
You know, I've met a lot of people that live in these mobile home parks and they're absolutely miserable. They tell me, my kids don't visit me. No wonder they don't like you. You're throwing away their inheritance pretty much. No wonder they don't like you, okay? At least if you own a house, they're going to come look at the house every once in a while, make sure their investment's in good condition. And your family, of course, if you're doing something like that, they're going to hate your guts because you're throwing away their money. You know, you don't want to throw all your money away. Leave something for your family.
No wonder why our kids don't come and visit us. They hate our guts because we're spending their money.
We are spending, oh my.
The last time I looked on the bank statements, it had our names on them. You know, for somebody to say something like that, how can you even take the rest of what they're telling you seriously? I mean, that is absolutely horrid. I have the book here on good parenting, and nowhere in here does it state that we have to scrimp and scrape after working for 30 or 40 years just to leave our money to them. Okay, that is just absolutely, totally ridiculous.
I have questions.
Go ahead.
Maybe 1,000 questions. If parents spend money for raise children,
Yep.
for education, food, toys,
Clothes,
and
right.
blah 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 blah. Why big children ask parents about parents' money?
That's right.
If you need more money, open the door and look for a job.
That's right. Go get a job.
It's easy.
Absolutely.
Don't look money in the parents' pocket.
All right, now that we've gone past that silliness, let's go on to the next words of wisdom.
Very clearly, a horrible investment that will never appreciate in value. It will always be worth less than what you paid for it.
No, it's all right.
Oh, okay.
Okay. All right.
I ate alcohol. Take one sip.
That's all right. Okay, so what I think he's trying to say here is that when you purchase a manufactured home, you're guaranteed to lose money. Now, is that the truth? Well, first off, if you're moving here, you got to ask yourself two questions. Are you moving here to spend your final years, your golden years, retire, enjoy life, or are you coming down here to speculate? Because if you're trying to find a property to flip over for a profit, you're speculating, and speculating really isn't something we should be doing at ages 55, 60, or 65. Okay, so let's talk about it. Like when you go and you buy a car, we already know that when you drive a car off the lot, it already depreciates in value. But a car is a necessary evil because you need it to go grocery shopping or the doctors or just to get back and forth from your job. But a manufactured home is different. Again, the key word there is home, okay? And manufactured homes mirror the value of real estate here in Florida. So for example, when real estate goes up, manufactured homes also go up. And obviously when the prices of real estate come down, manufactured home prices are going to come down also. But the key thing here is that regardless what the prices do, you never make or lose any money until you actually sell what you have, okay? So, I mean, if you want to speculate, really what you need to be doing is looking at the stock market right now because the stock market is tanked, okay? Buying stocks is where you need to be putting your money, not into real estate here in Florida. But let's go ahead and see how accurate his statement was. Again, using the full power of the 4-star statistics, I was able to compile listing prices for 2019, 2021, and so far this year in 2022. Okay, so let's start. In 2019, the average listing price of a home, now again, we're talking all Central Florida, we're probably talking like 190 different parks, okay? And this is based on like 2,000 sales a year. All right, the average listing price of a home in 2019 was $33,800. Now for 2021, the average listing price was $44,500. And then so far for this year in 2022, the average listing price was $59,900. So you can see that the value of the home does reflect what's going on here in the state of Florida. Obviously, when prices start coming down here, manufactured home prices are going to follow. But again, you don't lose a nickel unless you're actually selling what you have. All right, so let's go on to his next point.
Storms! Yes, in Florida we have storms called hurricanes, and they do a lot of damage. In other parts of the country you have tornadoes. Mobile homes are just not the place you want to be in during a hurricane. Buying a mobile home in a place where winds can be up to 170 miles an hour consistently for hours at a time, it's just a bad combination.
All right, everybody, hurricanes. Yes, that's a big question that we frequently get asked. You know, we have hurricanes here in Florida. There's tornadoes up north. Poor California gets eaten up by earthquakes. It seems that no matter where you go in this country, there's some sort of a natural disaster that follows it. Okay, hurricanes, you know, he's mentioning about 175-mile winds. I don't think I've ever experienced that high. But, you know, if there is a major hurricane coming this way, they will evacuate the entire eastern coastline here to about 30 miles in. And it doesn't make a difference what you're living in. If you're living in a tank, okay, you have to go. All right, so it doesn't make a difference what type of house you're living in. If you get hit with something of that magnitude, just like a tornado, it's going to take out everything in its path. But what this guy did fail to say, okay, was that like this park here, which was built in the 1980s, well, I've been through
houses, it's still
all
here.
houses are still here, okay? I've been through 2 hurricanes since I moved here 8 years ago, and this particular park has probably gone through about 4 or 5 different hurricanes, and guess what? All the houses are still here. Why? Because these houses were all built after 1976, so they were built under new HUD codes, okay? They do have, they're built to withstand winds up to about a Category 2 or a Category 3. So, I mean, yeah, unfortunately, hurricanes are something you can't avoid. It's part of living here in Florida, but after you've been through 1 or 2 of them, you kind of get used to it. Okay, let's move on to the next point.
Another very common rule is owners only, which you might want to rent it out. You're not allowed to rent it. No, you can't do that. It's owner only in a lot of these parks, which means you're not allowed to rent it out or have somebody else other than the owner and his wife or whatever, husband, whatever. That's horrible. You can't rent it out. You can't let your friends stay there. Only the owner is allowed to live there, and that is a very common law in a lot of these parks.
For the most part, he's full of it. That's really just a big crock. You know, obviously all parks have different rules concerning rentals or guests and stuff like that, and there's 2 reasons why. The biggest one, obviously, is for the safety and security of the residents that live there. Obviously, they don't want riffraff just coming in anytime they want, you know. And number 2, just like Spanish Lakes here, they don't want investors. So what's an investor? An investor is somebody who comes in and just buy homes for the sole purpose of renting them out for profit. Actually, stop and think about it. You could see where that's going to go. But, you know, he needs to change his words there. He says a lot of parks. It's not a lot of parks. It's very, very few parks. You know, and again, you know, if this is important to you, check with the park that you're considering moving into. But like here at Spanish Lakes, yes, you could rent your home. You could rent your home for up to 6 months out of the year. As far as visitors are concerned, if you wanted to bring your 25-year-old son and daughter down here to visit with you, they're more than welcome to come down. The grandkids are more than welcome to come down. Bring the entire family down. They could stay here as long as you're in the park. However, let's say, for example, you are up north and you want your brother or your sister to come down and spend 2 or 3 or even 4 weeks down here. They're more than welcome to do so without you, because all they need to do is just put an application in for a renter. Okay, even though they're not paying anything, they do have to be pre-approved against, you know, again, you just don't want anybody moving into the park. So, you know, as long as they meet the age requirements and they could go ahead and pass the background check, yes, they can come down here without you, spend 2-3 weeks. So, you know, again, all parks are different, but basically what he said is just baloney. All right, now you guys gotta stick around, okay, to hear the last part of this guy's video. You ready for this?
I bought one, and it may be the right thing for you. It's kind of been the right thing for me because they are more affordable, and I'm able to live in Naples, which I couldn't do unless it was for this property. This property has allowed me to live in Naples. How else could I live in Naples? Houses are starting at $300,000, and for less than $100,000, I was able to get into a mobile home.
Can you believe this? This guy spent 30 minutes on his video bashing manufactured homes and telling you why you shouldn't purchase one, only to come out and admit that he actually lives in one. And why? Because he can't afford the $300,000 housing prices over in the Naples area. And that's what her and I have been preaching for the last 3 years. Manufactured homes are an affordable alternative to the rising real estate costs here in the state of Florida. You know, and I'll tell you, folks, when you stop and look at it on a monthly basis, yes, we have lot rent. Yes, we pay electric. You know, we have cable. With all of our expenses, we're actually living here for about $1,150 a month. And you know what? You can't rent an apartment for even close to that amount here. If you're lucky to even find one. Mortgages are a lot higher. I mean, manufactured home living is certainly a wonderful alternative. So, you know, I apologize for the video being longer than normal. I hope you found it to be somewhat entertaining, and obviously, you know, we want it to be informative too. But that's all I got to say for now. Until our next video, goodbye.
Happy end.
That's a happy end. That's right. All right, everybody, take care.
Bye.